I think it comes from when we're born or when we're very young. That if you look at babies when they're up to around 1, 2 years old, you can see how peaceful they can be. And when they're not peaceful, they're emotional in the most absolute sense. There's no holding back. There's no sense of repression. There's an inability to hold back on these emotions, and it just comes out, and then it's gone, and then they're peaceful again. Peaceful, playful, loving. And then, in order to function in this society, we program our kids intentionally to have an ego, to speak a language, to create a sense of self, to create an idea of who they are, a history. We traumatize them into not being able to express these emotions whenever they want, because to function in a society and not be locked up, we have to sometimes repress ourselves. So, in a sense, we damage this very pure presence and loving being that we are when we're born. We, of course, don't remember this, but the point of me saying this is that I believe most of us are chasing it. I always believed in some very unconscious way that there was this loving entity out there that could love and hold and be with me forever, and I would be fine. I wasn't really conscious of this. It's just I could see how that was there, that I wanted this pure love and happiness forever, and I was chasing it in some way in every action I was taking. I would suffer a great deal with certain things going on with my health, with being lonely, with depression, anxiety, with all these issues that I thought I had, just addictions and tons of stuff, relationships and problems and whatever. And just finding myself in these really painful situations. And when I was going through them, I really wanted someone to care. It was like I thought that someone could care about me in this way that would fix everything. So I kept reaching out with that intention, with the intention of finding someone who's going to fix the pain. As though I was going to one day get back to that place that I once was when I was a baby. So I would reach out to people, but it would constantly be unsatisfying. I would reach out to friends and family and professionals and medical people and whatever. And it was just always unsatisfying. And it was unsatisfying because I had this belief or intention of finding this pure, infinite love and that's going to take my pain away. But other people can't do that. They themselves are going through the same stuff that you are, to some degree or another. They're probably wanting the same thing you are, this love that I was talking about, because we all grow up in the same way to some degree. The variance is varied slightly, obviously, but it's all taken away from us and we all try to get it back. And I slowly started to realize that there's a problem here, because no one can care about me in the way that I want them to. And it took a ton of suffering, me being brought to my knees, just praying. Even though I'm not even religious, it was, some things were just so painful. I remember just crying and praying to God that he would just take this pain away, which is a big thing for me because I'm not religious. And each time that I spent years doing this, where I would keep reaching out to people, keep trying to figure, keep trying to talk about it, talking, understanding, trying to do all these things to fix. But it was just infinitely unsatisfying. Nothing seemed good enough. No one really helped. No one really knew. No one really cared in the way that I would have wanted them to. And no one is really capable of caring in the way that I wanted them to. It's though I believed that people were capable of this level of empathy and care that's just not possible. So the isolation and the pain and all this stuff just hit this boiling point. This point where it was just this white hot ball of very painful situation. And I eventually realized that for some reason nothing out there can help me, because I'd exhausted all the drugs and alcohol and substances and supplements and professionals and doing this and that and avoidance and distractions and relationships and whatever. I'd exhausted it all. I'd tried it all. Nothing outside worked. It just doesn't. It doesn't help. And so I sort of realized that there's only one thing left. And that's me, right? And it sounds cliched, but when I saw this, things started to make more sense. There is no one out there that can do anything. Only I can offer myself what it is that I'm looking for. I'm wanting someone else to provide me with this infinite sense of love and encouragement and peace. But they can't, because they themselves are damaged. I find it difficult, but I have the ability to do that. I can offer myself this level of love. I can also offer myself awareness, right? There's no such thing as powerlessness. We make choices. When it comes to addiction, we always choose to do the thing. There is no urge or craving that's so strong that we can't get through it. We always make the choice. It's always an intellectual decision to move towards doing this thing or the substance, behavior. It's well planned out, our thoughts, the movie we play ourselves, the sensations, we're going to go do this, we're going to get that, we're going to take that, we're going to do this. It's well thought out, and it's not a simple process. And then we go do it, we physically do it. We are not powerless, we choose this every time. There is no higher power for me. There is no other person. There is nothing outside of myself that can do anything. Sure, when we come together, people combined, can be powerful. Our ideas and our energy, but that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about becoming a man. And I think as men, a lot of the time, people look up to us or look to us to lead, because we are hardy, we are strong physically, we are made for war, battle, hunting, protection, exploration, pain, battle. We are made tough for that reason. And if we look back on history, the way tribes used to indoctrinate a boy to a man would be something like there'd be some dramatic pulling away from the mother, where the men would come and grab the kid out of bed or wherever he was. I don't even know if they had beds. And the mother would cry and make this big deal about it. No, don't take my son. So there was this somewhat violent pulling away from the world of the feminine, where the mother would love you unconditionally. And that's, I know our mothers don't all the time, but the ideal is the mother will always love you no matter what you do, unconditionally. It's similar to that love that I was describing before when you're a baby, and we're pulled away from that, pulled away from receiving that from the outer. And the child was taken, one of the stories I heard was that they're taken into a cave, they can't see anything, pitch black. The men tie the kid to something, he can't get away, and they leave him there for, I think, 2 or 3 days. There's no food, no water, and he's told that something's going to come and kill him in the next few days. And then that's it. They leave him there. And I can't even begin to imagine the terror. You wouldn't be able to see anything, every sound, every thought, every sensation. You would just be waiting to die, and it would just be absolutely terrifying. But then this white ball of pain becomes so great that they start to detach. They detach from the fear and the thoughts and the sensations, the animalistic part of themselves, and they start to attach to something else. Awareness, consciousness, peace, their higher self, you could say, that just witnesses these things. And I believe that the only way to do that is to experience something like that, whether it's that intense or whether it's over a long period of time, like it was for me. And you start to see that, okay, so I'm choosing to run with these thoughts. I'm choosing to engage with them. I'm choosing to believe my thoughts that are making me weaker, my animalistic thoughts that make me believe fearful and weaker things. I can actually sit up and look around. Regardless of what's going on around me and inside me, I can see what's going on. I can take a step back and just have a look at a bigger picture. I can therefore be a guiding light for everyone around me, women, children, men, boys, whatever. I can lead because I'm not getting overwhelmed by myself. This is what it is to become a man. And to do this, we need to suffer. I can't see there being another way. I can't see there being an accidental discovery of this. I was listening to Jocko podcast, and he talks about that's the way that they train Navy SEAL leaders, that they will just put them under so much pressure. They'll be shooting at them, there'll be chaos, this and that will be going wrong, people everywhere, all these problems, and they just keep putting the pressure on them until they see them sit up, stand up, look around, and just have a look at what's going on. Just take a step back, detach, become aware and present, and figure out, rather than being so wrapped up in the moment, in your fear and your reactions and your anxieties and your physical, your jerky, your movements and all that stuff. You just sit up, take a step back, and you look around, and you figure it out. I believe when I was going through all this stuff, my reaching out was a way to avoid. I would talk about it and reach out and try to do this and that, and nothing would ever help. Sometimes I'd feel better when I spoke about it, but nothing was fixed. I just had a feeling. Had I shut the fuck up and detached, took a step back from myself, became aware of what was going on, and just figured it out, tried to fix it, fix the problem. This for me makes so much sense, and I can't see true manhood being reached unless this happens. So if you're going through a shitty time, then embrace it, because this is the only way. There is no other option, and it's painful and it sucks and it's scary and it's lonely and it's all those things. But if you want to become a leader, if you want to become anything of value, then this is the path. Embrace it. Thanks, guys.